This California city is known for farmland, 115-degree hot summers in the middle of nowhere, and producing one of the most dominant high school hoopers in state history. What is?
Bakersfield, California. Whoop, whoop.
This is Cece, and welcome to another episode of Let's Talk USC Women's Basketball. And today, look who we got. Look at the face next to me. We got the assistant coach of USC, Nikki Blue. Hey, Nikki, welcome to the show.
Hey, hey, how's it going? Thanks for having me.
It's going good. I'm excited. I'm happy that we finally got this scheduled, and I'm going to break it down how we're going to do this podcast, and then we're going to get right into it. Okay? We're going to break it down in like four quarters, plus a halftime and an overtime, and then how I'm going to start each section is with a Jeopardy prompt that I'll ask you a question and you have to answer it. Okay?
Okay, sounds good. Let's do it.
You ready? All right. First quarter. This California city is known for farmland, 115-degree hot summers in the middle of nowhere, and producing one of the most dominant high school hoopers in state history. What is?
Bakersfield, California. Whoop, whoop.
Bakersfield, California. Now, when you tell people you're from Bakersfield, I mean, like, are there really hoopers out there? Come on now. It's Bakersfield.
Bakersfield is a place normally people go through it and not necessarily to it, but um, shockingly enough, we produce, basketball players, football players, all sorts of athletes, and I mean, it's home. I think that we are most proud of, from Bakersfield, just the sense of community, though. And, people that have followed me through my basketball career since I was like 13, they, can say, I've watched you since, junior high school. And, just the sense of community is probably what we're most proud of. But, we produce a couple athletes.
A couple. Now you scored over 2,900 points, right, in high school and CIF Player of the Year.
I
Um,
did. Mhm.
those games in Bakersfield, did they draw crowds? I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's funny. People like, make fun of us and they think that we just, just do cow tipping at night or, there's nothing but farmland. But, like I said, the sense of community, people actually do come out and support. And my high school games were packed, and
Yeah.
the women's games or the girls' games were so packed, in fact, that they actually switched the boys' games to go before us. So
Wow.
normally you have, girls JV, boys JV, girls varsity, boys varsity. And we were almost like the premier showcase. And we're talking about in a gym where there was just standing room only. And
Wow.
yeah, so that was kind of cool.
It's interesting. I did a podcast a while back and I was talking about um, young girls who play high school basketball that aren't in the top tier. Now you were, but because they play in smaller schools and so on and so forth. Um, being from Bakersfield and West High School wasn't really known at that time. I don't remember. Maybe you can clue me in on that. But was it difficult getting coaches out there to see you because it was Bakersfield?
Well, it's very similar to how it is now. You don't necessarily get recruited or viewed at your home base or at your high school. It's the recruiting circuits that
Yeah.
the college coaches are able to identify you as a prospect, and then from there they create their schedules, and then they come out to your hometown. So on the recruiting circuits, my uncle Clarence was a coach, and he would take me out, and we would go to BCI at the time, and it's Nike TOC now. It's really huge, but we would go to Arizona, we would go to Colorado, and these different places, and all these colleges just started just heavily recruited me. Um, and then eventually they would just, come on a home visit or come to my high school campus. I mean, we had everyone in the hood is what I call it. On the
Yeah.
Fourth and P is where I'm from in Bakersfield, California. I mean, Gino Kane, C. Vivian Stringer, obviously Kathy Olivier and Tia Jackson from UCLA. Every school you could even think of, came to my hometown of Bakersfield to recruit me.
Now let me ask you something. What did y'all kids do in Bakersfield? Let me take a guess. Valley Crown Mall or some Valley Mall. You know what I'm talking about?
What you know about the plaza, the Valley
See,
Plaza?
Valley, yeah, Valley. That was y'all's hangout, right? Or
That was the
Chester
place to go.
Avenue, Ming Street.
Yeah, yeah, those are the those are the major streets. You see, you've been through Bakersfield. Don't act like you ain't been through
Hello.
Bakersfield.
See, let me tell you why I know a little bit about Bakersfield because I'm in sales and marketing and I actually have part of my territory is Bakersfield. So I'm out in Bakersfield probably every 5 to 6 weeks. So I'm a little familiar with it.
Okay,
It's different.
got you.
I'm gonna say that much.
Yeah, it's different, but Cece is home. That's
Yeah,
home. And I know I'm not sure where you're from, but where I'm from, there's a heavy sense of pride
yeah,
for Bakersfield, and my entire family still lives there. I was
yeah,
actually there yesterday. It's the place that I go to decompress, to get find peace, to
yeah.
go eat at my favorite food spot. So I know we kind of get the butt of the jokes often, but it's home, and I'm so proud of being from Bakersfield, California.
Yeah, my son, he used to do trampoline and tumbling, and there's a gymnastics American Academy or something like that out there where we went out there and he competed for gymnastics. So, Bakersfield is home to you. And of course, we're going to joke about Bakersfield because it's hot out there. I mean, during the summer, it's really hot out there and it's in the middle of nowhere, but it's your home. So I just wanted to poke at you a little bit. There's a roller rink out there too that y'all go to.
Yeah, Skateland.
Yeah,
I've had
see?
many of church skating parties there, or birthday parties, or anything. But in the Kern County Fair, that's probably
Yeah,
one of my favorite things to do every September, where people don't get to experience county fairs, especially
yeah.
like West Coast. But we are one of those places where we go and watch. This is gonna sound weird, but like watch the cows get birth, or we watch the animals, the pigs, and anything. We go to see that and to eat some really good food. So Kern County Fair is another one.
Yeah. Can you cook?
It's not really my specialty. I'm not the cook around here. I have four amazing aunts that I grew up with, and they have really, taken their responsibility of just being the matriarchs of our family, and they're the ones that cook. So I'm not really cook. I'll buy the food all day, or I'll provide the sodas or drinks and stuff. But cooking is not really my thing.
Now, taking it back to Bakersfield from a small city, I know that your top two were UCLA and UConn. Was there any thoughts like being from a small city, small time girl vibes? Were you intimidated at all by moving to a big city or making a choice between UConn and UCLA, from a small town to like a big city vibe?
I wouldn't say intimidated, because any place that I went was going to be a huge adjustment, especially coming from Bakersfield. My family being there, I was going to have to go away from home. The nice thing about LA is 2 hours south of Bakersfield. And so I spent a lot of time driving from Bakersfield to Los Angeles uh, to compete in tournaments. There weren't really big tournaments in Bakersfield, so we would have to go every single weekend down to LA. So I just began to develop friendships, and was able to prove that LA wasn't the only place that could produce great athletes.
Yeah.
And every time we would go down there, I would just play against them and be able to hold my own, and sometimes even shine out there. So it was nice. Also, once I did finally commit to go to school at UCLA, for my family to just have to drive 2 hours every game to see them, and they came to every single game, and they came deep. So that was nice. It was like I was away from home, but not really.
Yeah. Okay. I got another prompt for you.
Sure.
This guard was a four-time All Pac-10 selection, led her team to three NCAA tournaments, and played alongside stars like Noel Quinn at UCLA in the early 2000s. Who is
Nikki Blue.
Nikki Blue?
That's me.
That's you. Now, did you consider yourself a traditional point guard?
No, I do not consider myself, and did not consider myself, a traditional point guard. At the time, point guards were more distributors.
Yeah.
I was a scoring point guard. And, I was very versatile where you can put me at the one, the two, or the three, but, so skilled that at the one was where I, thrived the most. And so just my ability to be able to not only distribute the ball, to score the ball, just kind of gave it a different look from the point guard position.
Okay. You averaged 17 points your first year as a freshman, right? Something like that, 16.7 or 17 points a game. So I would say you were a scoring guard. But finish this sentence for me. Nikki Blue the Hooper was, or you could say still is.
Nikki Blue the Hooper was dynamic. I think that there was a certain flair to my game that I brought to the game that didn't necessarily exist on the women's side prior to our era. And so did Noelle Quinn, and so did Lisa Willis at the time, where we would come down the court and we would throw a behind the back pass or no look, or that was kind of our thing. We had a flash and a flair to us. We had a dynamic, game to us, and so that part of it, was fun. But that dynamic that I talk about was from Magic Johnson and me watching his film earlier on in life when I was younger, and just seeing him, look one way past the other, or come down the court and find somebody out of nowhere. Like I wanted to patent my game off of his, and so I would just kind of mock him and see what he did, and if I saw it on the court, I would do it. So I would say dynamic, and I guess we would say I still am. We'll take it.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
haven't I want to see you on the court with the girlies. I want to see you get out there and play. I want to see your style, you know.
Yeah, dynamic personality, not on the court anymore. So,
That's funny.
yeah, I'm not sure if I'm not getting out there, Coach CC. I can't do it. But I would love to coach my butt off for somebody else. But those days are over.
What do you think is a part of your game that didn't get enough shine that that really helped you but didn't show up on the stat sheet?
You know, as a point guard, we are almost coaches on the floor, and so you never get stats for leadership.
Yeah.
And you no one the team recognizes it, but those things kind of go unnoticed to fans and stuff, and that's okay as long as we get the win at the end of the day, or don't mind anybody else getting the shine. But to be a coach out on the floor during the game, it's something that's really difficult because you not only have to lead your team, but you also take a lot of the blame when things, don't go right.
Yeah.
And so I think that my time as a point guard really helped me transition into a more coaching role because it was almost the same thing.
Yeah. Now, something that your 2006 team has in common with USC is you guys beat Stanford in the Pac-12 championship, just like we did a couple years ago. And you guys had a big three. It was you, Noel Quinn, and Lisa Willis, right? How
Yes.
do you compare that to like this year's team with Cara Dunn, Jazzy, and Kennedy, and even London Jones?
Yeah, I think both teams really, just have great chemistry and great pieces. We would call our big three the triple threat. So Lisa Willis was the shooter, Noelle Quinn was the passer, and I was the dribbler. So triple threat, shoot, pass, dribble.
Yeah.
I think that you can see some similarities in this year's the big three that you talked about. But what I'm most proud of is that this team doesn't have a big three. I think we have a big four and a
Yeah.
big five and a big six, because there's so much more to the game than just a couple players. Like our six man is going to be just as important as our first and our second. So it's just going to be a collective effort, and I'm really looking forward to it.
And if people don't know this, I want to talk about this. You also had Natalie Nakase on your team, right? Your freshman year, who is now also coaching the WNBA. She was 5'2". How was she on the court?
I mean, if you know anything about Nat, Nakase is what I call it, what we call her, is just her tenacity, her attitude, her, her preparation, the way that she came on as a walk-on and ended up her senior year being the starter. So that versatility that I had and from being able to move from point guard to the two guard is really the reason why I averaged, 16 to 17 points my freshman year. I mean, Nat was able to be the point guard, and I was able to be the two guard. Michelle Greco was the three guard, and so I was not only bringing the ball up the court like Nakase would bring the ball up the court, and throw an assist to me or throw an assist to Greco. So uh, there was no way that she wasn't going to be on the court. If you know her and her personality, she was going to fight her way on the court and stay on the court. So, and then when she, subbed out, I was able to take over the point guard responsibilities. So it was really fun playing with her and all the success that she's had recently. It doesn't shock me at all just because of her personality and the person that she is. And I know that she's going to do great things in the W.
Yeah. When you came in your freshman year and you played with Natalie, your 3-point shooting average, it wasn't, let's keep it real, it wasn't that good. It was like a 27%. You were 27% from three. But then by your senior year, you were at 41% on three-pointers. What flipped the switch for you?
Wow, 27%? How did I get on the floor? How did I stay on the floor? That's terrible. I didn't even know that stat.
Oh,
But
damn.
yeah, well, uh, I think that we can say that having an unbelievable work ethic by sophomore and junior year led up to the success and the change that we saw my senior year. It's getting in the gym and getting up those extra shots in the off season. It's, my coaches breaking down film and telling me what are good shots versus great shots. And I also think that being surrounded by other great players, like a Noelle Quinn or like a Lisa Willis, that was able to open up more open shots for me. And then it became my responsibility just to knock down those open shots. So I'm glad that it was the way that it was, 27 to 35 or 36, what you said,
Oh,
instead of,
41. 41. Don't
oh,
shoot yourself
41,
short. Yeah,
41,
41. Yeah.
41, 41. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Instead of, coming in at 41 and then dropping down to 27, like to be able to progress those 4 years, and I mean, hats off to my coaches as well for preparing me and constantly getting me better each and every year.
Yeah. Okay. Then we get to the W. So that leads me to another prompt. You ready?
Yeah.
This team was home for the majority of your WNBA career from 2006 to 2009. What is that team?
What is the Washington Mystics?
Yeah, the Washington
Yes,
Mystics.
Jersey.
Yes, that's see.
Okay.
If the people pick up on your back wall, they would know, right? They could answer that question for you, right?
That's it. There we go.
Um, you made your mark with the Mystics as a tenacious defender and a vocal floor leader. Was that something you stepped into right away, or is that something that you had to adjust to?
My rookie year was really a huge adjustment in the WNBA because I had come from UCLA where I was a scoring point guard, and that was just what I did. I had the freedom to score anytime, distribute when necessary, and just be a leader out there on the floor. Now, when you're coming in as a rookie, roles change, right? There already are established leaders out there, and you kind of got to get in where you fit in. And at the time, Richie Adebayo was our coach, and he had, prior to coming to Washington, coached for years for the New York Liberty, and so he coached players like Teresa Weatherspoon, Becky Hammond. They had, a great core of players with the New York Liberty. And so his thing was to turn me into a Teresa Weatherspoon, which was more of a distributor and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So it was an adjustment of taking my game from being a scoring point guard to, just being more a distributor. The leadership role is something that I've always kind of had. It's just been like this natural thing. And so that didn't too much change, but just stepping into a different role with older players and more seasoned veterans. Just I had to kind of just get in, where I fit in. But what I'm probably most proud of is just my longevity in the league. And that was from my leadership. Because by the
Yeah.
time it was my fifth year in the league, I really wasn't on the court as much, but I was in the locker room.
Yeah.
They needed someone like me to be in a locker room, like, hey, this is how you, prolong your career. This is how you act and be like a pro. And so I became more valuable as a veteran then. And I think a lot of that I was taught my rookie year and just kind of carried it through.
Yeah, and I want to ask you a question. And this is just an opinion question. So you see in today's W, the role of traditional point guard is kind of gone by the wayside, right? When you look at some of the teams, I would say the traditional point guard, like Jordan Canada, might be a traditional point guard.
Sure.
Erica Wheeler might be a traditional point guard. But when you look at the teams, like Phoenix, they don't even have a point guard, right? Alyssa Thomas is a point forward, and she runs that offense. What happened to the Becky Hammonds and the Sue Birds and the Teresa Weatherspoons? And do you see the W totally moving away from that traditional point guard, or is there room for that traditional point guard still in the W?
Yeah, that is a great question. You see the W kind of trending towards, more of a positionless player. And I think that is because more athletes are putting more skills to their game. So you can have someone that's 6'2", handling the rock because they have been, training with trainers who have taught them just to be like positionless. No longer is the 6'2" going to be in the, dunker area or in the post or,
Yeah,
be a big wing. However, I still think that there is value from, a traditional point guard. It just depends on how you structure the team. It's a puzzle. So you can't have, a traditional point guard and, maybe have someone else the same height on the wing and like you have to be able to fit it in. You see Atlanta with Jordan Canada at the point guard position. Well, they have Brittany Griner as a center. So,
yeah,
like that might be the fit. Where as there are other teams who just have a positionless across the board. They're all 6'2" or they're all 6'4", and they're
yeah,
able to kind of spread the floor out. So, and I think that a lot of that is just from the NBA too. Just
yeah,
seeing, those positionless players and seeing more of an open floor as opposed to your tradition 3 out, 2 in sets, right? Everyone is on the perimeter. Everyone can shoot. Everyone can penetrate the paint, kick out for three. So, I think there's value in both, and I'm just excited to see where the game goes past beyond it.
yeah. I think you're right, and I think it's interesting because people ask me questions all the time about USC and USC's offense, and USC needs a point guard and this, that, and the other, and I'm like, no, I don't think they do. You know what I mean? They're running a pro style offense, and you see more of that trending now. Like USC, do you think we're going to start seeing a lot more of that in the college game?
Yes, I do, and especially from the program, you see all these teams that have the success that are running these offenses that are positionless, and that they have players around the perimeter that are able to do multiple things. Pass, dribble, cut, lots of cuts, and a heavy volume of 3-point shooting. So I do think that you'll see more of that because of the success of the NBA and the WNBA teams going to that style. So I mean, like you said, you see it now with Phoenix, you see it now with the Valkyries, you see it with Las Vegas Aces. All teams that have had teams that have had coaches with NBA background.
Yeah.
So yeah, you could kind of see it trending towards that.
The other interesting thing about a W, and sorry, I get off on a tangent because I can just start conversating, but the other
Oh
thing
yeah,
about
it's all good.
the other thing about the W that I really like, especially with particular teams, is the ball movement. You know what I mean? In the spacing. So you got teams like Minnesota and the Valkyries that just, I mean, it's like if people really pay attention and you watch their offense, it's like two or three dribbles pass. You know what I mean? And it,
Yeah.
it, it makes the game look so much more fluid. And then they can get out on transition if they play good defense. But I mean, do you see college teams moving towards that as well? Or some of them, I should say, because some of them are just still too traditional, in my opinion. I won't name any names, I promise, but hey, they need to get with the program. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, there are some teams that have systems and things in place that they've been doing for years and years, and they're kind of set in their ways. And they also recruit that way. They recruit
Yeah,
players that are going to fit their system. And then there are some coaches that are more innovative and that watch the NBA or watch WNBA and see these ideas, and their mind is able to work in a certain type of way to where they're creating with the team that they have systems that's going to fit their team.
yeah.
So, I think it's whatever works best personnel wise. I think that it would probably be more intelligent to adjust, to your personnel and, just kind of, if you're a basketball mind and you're able to create like scoring opportunities for your team through different sets, alignments and stuff, then, you should go ahead and go for it. But, either way, whether it's, traditional or the new way of doing things, like, I'm excited to see how this, brand of basketball uh, transpires. And, you talk about the passing and the cutting and the spacing. That is beautiful basketball.
It is so
Moving the
beautiful.
ball,
Oh
not
my God.
having to dribble several times or be come down and just be in like isolation and stuff. Like
Yeah,
I like to see a pass, a cut, swing shot or swing, like it's
yeah.
that type of basketball is very nice to watch. But then again, if you have a post player down low and you need to go into a power game, go into splits or go into triangle action, like if that works for you, then that works for you. But um, you know, I can talk basketball all day too.
I
Like
know,
you
right?
see me getting excited, I'm like about to
Yeah.
get my board and start like drawing out. But what I enjoy is Lindsay and her mind and the way that her mind is working so far. It's just been great. And the things that she said, she wants to implement and what systems that we put in according to our personnel and stuff like that's the type of strategy that I love to, be in and listen to.
Played overseas, right? You played overseas in Turkey and Greece, and I don't want to talk about that too much. Although I do want to ask one question. Did you ever go see Santorini?
I didn't go to Santorini. No, no,
It's on my
I
bucket
didn't.
list. It is on my
Uh,
bucket list. I want to go to Santorini. So
I should have taken advantage. I didn't.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's beautiful when I see pictures of it and everything. It's okay. I'm sorry. Let me get on. Let me get off my tangent. So when you came back before you worked at the W, you were assistant coach and you actually worked for some hella good coaches, right? You actually went back to UCLA. Well, you UNLV for Kathy Oliver, your coach, Greg McCall, right, at Cal State Bakersfield. You took it back home. Powell, Noel Powell, right? And then Charlie Turner Thorne, correct? Those are
Yes.
some good head coaches. And so tell me, what were your takeaways from that experience?
Yeah, I've been fortunate enough to be up under some really excellent coaches. Kathy Olivier was my college coach, and so we had a relationship prior to, um, me actually getting into coaching. And she's the reason why I got into coaching. I was overseas. She gave me a call and said, "Hey, do you want to like coach and play in the WNBA at the same time since the off seasons are different?" And I was like, "Yes, I would love to,"
Okay.
because I didn't
Yeah.
necessarily like playing overseas, so it was great with her. And then also going back home to Cal State Bakersfield under Greg McCall, who is just a really genuine, great guy. And
Mm.
being home back in that town was great.
And shout out to
Um,
Erica McCall, who played for Stanford, who's his daughter. So wanted to give that shout out.
Another Bakersfield great. See, I told
Yeah.
you we produce winners. Yeah, but my time at Bakersfield, with the lot, we didn't have great resources, and so you had to wear several different hats. And so that during that time, it really taught me marketing. It taught me, recruiting and being innovative and doing a lot with uh, doing your best with not a lot of resources. And so I
Mhm.
learned a lot there. Then I went to be under Nicole Powell at Grand Canyon University, who had a lot of resources and who, we just went out and recruited. And it was a great institution. GCU is one of those great schools that I was able to, go to and win a couple games, set some records there. And then I get
And
the
you were
phone
probably
call.
used to the weather. I didn't mean to cut you off, but that Arizona weather probably reminded you of Bakersfield, right? Sorry,
Yeah,
I
see,
had
it
to
was
throw that in
transition. It
there.
was easy. Yeah, I mean, 115 is 115
Yeah,
wherever we go. So,
yeah.
yeah. But one thing, CC, is that it's 115 outside. I will not be outside. I am inside.
Okay.
So I don't care what it is. It could be
Yeah.
180. I am inside.
Okay, for real.
While I was at GCU, after my second year, I get the call from Charlie Turner Thorne, who is a legend.
Yep.
25 years coach. I mean, she's going to be a Hall of Fame coach. And to get that call and for her to actually have heard about my work ethic and, kind of sing my praises and actually ask me to come onto her staff was really special for me because you work you don't work in the mindset of, okay, I'm going to move on to this next place. I'm going to move on to the next place. But to be, for someone to recognize and say, hey, like, she's getting recruits. I see her work ethic. Like, we have to have her here was special. And I learned so much from her, how to family, faith, and basketball, how can they can all coexist together. So I'm fortunate to 16 years of being an assistant coach under some great coaches and to be at some great institutions. Like, I'm truly blessed.
Yeah, those some awesome coaches, right? So,
Yeah, yeah.
all right. This team featured Diana Taurasi, Brittany Griner, Skylar Diggins Smith, and USC alum Katie Sissoko. I had to throw that in there. What team was this?
Oh, that's easy. What is the Phoenix Mercury?
Yeah, where you were an assistant coach at first and then became head coach in a tumultuous season, one must say. So I know you learned a lot there, but I got to look at my thing for this. I want to make sure I get these questions right.
Sure.
Donna Taurasi, Brittany Griner, Skylar Diggins, that's a locker room full of strong personalities, right? All of them have, I would imagine, A-type personalities. What was the key into managing, personalities like that for you?
Yeah, people seem to think that basketball, especially at the professional level in the WNBA, is about X's and O's and how you can execute. But I think that a majority of uh, being able to be successful in the W is managing personalities. And that is something that I feel like I was a strong suit of mine and, still is. I'm able to communicate, be an effective communicator, as well as develop true and authentic relationships in a short amount of time. And so that was my goal going in is just to, be able to connect with them, but also to be able to coach them. And, they always, I always believe that, you leave a place better than, what you found it.
Yeah.
And, I truly believe that, that's something that I did. And as strong as personalities that, those individuals that you just mentioned, what I really appreciate is just the level of respect that they gave me. And it could be because I was a former player. It could be because I, had coached 17 years up to that point. But for them to, respect me on and off the court is, just something that I really, appreciate. And even though sometimes it was, difficult in terms of win and losses and stuff, like the cultural aspect of it that I was able to bring and implement in a short amount of time is something that I really take a lot of pride in.
Yeah. How was coaching Katie Sissoko, USC alum?
Oh, Cotty was ready. She
Kadi, did I
was.
say her name wrong? I'm sorry. Kadi, it's Kadi.
Uh, I mean, it's French. It could be
Yeah.
Cotty, Gaddy, Caddy. But I mean, she's a doll. Like she was a hard worker. I knew, we knew, her coming from USC that she was going to be prepared
Yeah.
to compete in the W, and just she's going to have an unbelievable work ethic. She had been, transferred a couple places, but that year at USC, I think really prepared her to be a pro. And as a professional, former professional coach, the type of programs that players come out of, you can always like or almost like assume if they're going to be ready or not for the pro game. And her coming from USC, like we knew that she was going to be prepared, and it was a great transition for her. And I just loved her personality, loved her spirit. She was always happy, and it was a great time.
She was, whoa, she had a fiery personality on the court though. She was no BS with Katie when she was on the court. Like at USC,
Yeah.
so fiery. Like she wanted to win. You could tell she had that will to win, you know?
Yeah, and she was almost one of those players that like, because she was so like long and athletic. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, is she a three? Is she a four? Like what she's kind of like in between. But what was good about her was that on the offensive end, you can put her at the three if the four was guarding her, you know, or if you had a three, a smaller guard guarding her, you can put her, you know, in the pinch post or in the dunker area or on the block and let her post up. So she had some versatility to her game.
Yeah. Okay. Now, with big three, Tarasi, Skylar Diggins, Brittany Griner, in the huddle, who's locked in no matter what, who's secretly scheming up their own play, and who's cracking jokes to lighten the mood.
um, let's see. Okay, what was the first one? Who's
Who's locked in no matter what?
locked in no matter what? Okay. Uh, that would be Skylar.
Okay. Who's secretly scheming up their own play?
Probably Diana Taurasi.
And who's cracking jokes to lighten the mood?
Uh, Brittany Griner.
Really?
I mean, or you can say all three, do
Yeah.
all three. You know,
Yeah.
they were great personalities, but you know, Brittany was detained when Skylar was actually on the team,
Yeah.
and so you know, it was Skylar and Diana together, and then Skylar was not with the team when Diana and Brittany were together.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was my 2 years with them. So like, to all of them were not ever in a huddle together when I
Other.
was there, but it was, you know, different. But I think that you can say that each and every one of them were locked in, crack a joke, and you know, also what was the other one? A scheme in their own play, like
Scheming.
at once. Yeah,
Yeah.
any they probably were doing all the same thing at once.
Yeah, that's funny. Now, what's the one thing that you bring with you from the W to the college level to help these college women prepare for the pros?
Yeah, the one thing I bring with me everywhere is just I operate in the spirit of excellence. You're going to get my 100% very best anytime in whatever situation that we're in, whether it's preparation or coaching, X's and O's, developing relationships, or developing personalities. You know, I think that uh, at the end of the day, players, whether it's at the collegiate level or professional level, know that I'm going to have their back regardless.
Yeah,
And that I'm always going to give my all, and I'm always going to operate at the uh, utmost excellence that there is. And so, you know, that's something that I really, you know, take pride in. And I also require and ask that everyone around me do the same thing.
yeah,
And, you know, I think that Lindsay Gottlieb, I think that that's what she requires from her staff, you know, just be good people. Have a high basketball IQ and just operate in the spirit of excellence. I think that, you know, that's why I'm a part of her staff, is that she knows that that's something that is of great importance for me.
yeah. Okay, guess what? We've reached halftime. Well,
Okay.
those were a long 2 quarters, though, weren't they? We just get to talking and just forget about the time, I guess.
Are
Okay.
we up? Are we up at half? What are we doing?
We're up at half. We're up
Uh,
at half. Okay, and I got a prompt for you before we get into the halftime questions. This 2 word rally cry captures the heart of USC toughness, pride, and never backing down.
what is fight on?
Oh, you got it. Fight
There
on.
we go.
Fight on. Okay. Ready? If this team had a group chat emoji, what would it be? And who overuses GIFs the most? It's GIFs, right? Not GIFs. GIFs.
It's just
GIFs. Yeah.
okay.
So
Um,
if this team had a group chat emoji, what would it be?
uh, I would do the muscle,
Oh,
the
okay.
strong muscle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Okay.
would do the muscle because you know I think that this team has an element of toughness to it,
Nice.
and yeah, it's that's what I would say, the strong emoji.
Yeah. Does anybody you overuse the GIFs on the team?
Ooh, that's a good question. In the group chat, um, I think they all like heart, you know, heart a lot or
Yeah.
whatever. I would say from like a coaching standpoint, though, like Coach Beth Burns, like she uses a fight on like all the time. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's another good one. It could be the fight on, but yeah, she probably is the one that used the fight on the most.
Okay.
Yeah,
Which coach is most likely to turn a film session into a stand-up comedy set?
Coach B for sure.
For sure, right? For sure. I knew it was Coach B. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Excuse me, but I just really have to know, have you stopped calling that school in Westwood its name and started referring to it as the other school?
Oh, wow. Well, and everyone has like when I'm introduced, right? This is Nikki Blue. She's with us. She's and she's from the other school
Yeah.
and stuff. And like it's a real thing. Like,
It is a real
people say
thing.
that.
That's what I'm saying. It's a real question. That's why I'm asking you. Have you got it together yet? You know, it's the
Uh,
other school.
yeah, not yet. I think that I'm getting there. Like, I feel I'm in a different position because the other school was my school. So it's, can I get some slack? Like,
It's the other
so
school.
okay, got you.
It's the
Sounds
other
good.
school. Okay. All right. Dance battle amongst not just the coaches, but staff, including Ryan. Who wins?
A dance battle between everyone,
The coaches and staff.
just the coaches and staff.
Yep. Who?
Okay. Um, I win. Period.
Hello.
Period. I don't. I mean, come on. Like
Okay.
yeah. I think
Courtney? Courtney can't dance?
I'm not
Oh, there
sure.
was
We've never
yeah.
been we haven't been in the space yet. But set up the day. I'm ready. What are we
Okay,
doing?
for real. I'm gonna have to talk to Courtney about that. I would love to see the coaches do a team dance off. You get to
Okay.
pick two coaches. Maybe Coach Lindsay picks a couple, and you guys do a team battle and put it on Instagram or TikTok. I think it would
Oh
be
my
amazing.
goodness.
I think it would
Oh
go
my God.
viral. I think it would go
It,
viral. You know why? Because Coach Lindsay has no rhythm, so she would struggle. So it would be fun to
oh,
watch. You
don't
know,
do my coach
sorry,
like
Coach
that.
Lindsay. Coach
Uh,
Lindsay, I love you, but you're dancing. We all know what it is. You know.
I'm gonna teach Coach Lindsay boots on the ground, and
Okay.
we're
Yes.
gonna get. She could be my partner, and
Okay. Cool.
we would tear it up. We would tear
Okay.
it up. Her and Ryan. We could go.
Okay.
3 on 3.
Okay. We've reached the third quarter, so now we're gonna go into present day coaching. Okay.
Okay.
So here's the prompt. This role runs practice, breaks down film, develops players, and brings the head coach's vision to life, all without the spotlight. What is?
What is an assistant coach?
What is an assistant? You're getting all these right.
I mean,
You haven't gotten
these are
one
really
wrong
good.
yet, you
These
know?
are good. These are
Yeah.
good.
Okay. First question. Simple. Why USC?
USC has, it's the premier destination for women's basketball, and to know the history of SC, Cheryl Miller, Cynthia Cooper, Lisa Leslie, um, Tina Thompson,
Yeah.
and Ebony Hoffman. That's around my era, and now transitioning into the Jujus and the Jazzies. Like it's a place that women's basketball thrives, and you know the campus itself is amazing. It's beautiful. It's there's a huge sense of culture and pride around campus. The athletic facilities are top notch. They are first in its class, and the athletic programs, the support that the university, the president, athletic directors, everyone pours into athletics is unmatched. And when I was asked or given the opportunity to come here, I thought of all those things because all those things are important. But the number one thing I think about USC and what makes it special are the people that make up, the culture of it is what I think. I've really enjoyed my time so far. Everyone has been, excellent. There's that word that I always use, like, excellent in terms of just providing any and everything that we need to be successful. And USC is just one of those places where when you're on campus, you're like, wow, this is different.
Yeah. So take me through a day in the life.
The day in the life as an assistant coach at SC.
Yes.
Well, um, since I live on the outskirts of the city, I have a little bit of a commute, and so on that commute is nice for me to make my recruiting phone calls to my overseas players because it's it's either um, afternoon or nighttime over there, or I'll listen to a podcast, decompress. Once I get into the office, it's we're right into meetings, workouts. Um, we also let's see. I don't know. We the morale around the office is always like upbeat, and so you always have to stay ready because someone would just pop into your office that you like, wouldn't even like, expect. Like, I mean, a celebrity might come into your office and you wouldn't even expect. And
Yeah.
so, just going to other people's offices and just using the resources that we have, like getting a quick workout in. We have our own personal gyms. We have weightlifting that we can go into. We have a cardio machine. And then just getting on the court and working out with the players. After our workouts, players usually come hang out in the offices, chat it up, might talk basketball, might talk life, might talk academics. And then as a coaching staff, we get together again, talk about some things, go on campus to eat, and then it's time to go home. So that's kind of my typical day. I know it was kind of all over the place, but like that's
No.
my typical day.
When people watch USC play, what do you want them to recognize as that's a Coach Nikki influence this year?
Ooh, that's great. Um, I hope people recognize that our players are having an unbelievable experience, and I want them to say like, "Oh, they're playing the game right, and they look like they're having fun."
Yeah.
And that's what it's essentially all about. Is how can I make an impact on these young ladies' lives? And I think a lot of it is through making this experience the most enjoyable college experience ever. And whether that's through just active communication or just relationships with them, or actually getting on the floor and teaching them the game that love, and
Yeah.
teaching them the things that I've been taught and the things that I've learned throughout the years. Um, it's just something that I would like to pass on to this next generation. So when people watch our players and they see our players smiling, but also playing the game right and having a great experience, I want them to know that I contributed to that.
Oh, that's awesome. That is so
Yeah.
awesome. Now, what player has surprised you the most since you've been here?
Ooh, let's see. I don't know about surprise me the most because, I know the expectations. The standard is set high at SC. It is
Yeah.
high. But I didn't know that London Jones could shoot the ball the way that she's shooting it.
She's
Like
tough, man.
she is shooting that ball to
But she
where
can
we're
do
telling
other
her,
stuff too. I mean, because
oh my gosh,
the way they utilized her at UCLA was mostly a catch and three shooter. But I think that Lindsay's plan for her and your plan for her is to utilize the other aspects of her game. So people are going to be shocked when they see what things London can do besides shoot that three ball.
yes. And just her consistency from the three. And that, like you just said, her ability to, if someone closes out hard, which we tell our scout guys, in our workouts, like, don't let London catch and shoot. She's not going to be like, don't let her catch and shoot. So they're closing out extremely hard. And what does she do? Pump fake, go around to the rim. And her finishing angles around the rim are impressive. I'm talking, you know, Kyrie Irving finishes around the rim. This, just different angles and the way she's able to twist and contort from being such a
Yeah.
small guard. And I was a
Yeah.
small guard, so I know how difficult it is going in there with those trees and
Yeah.
having to find counters and having to be able to get yourself. So her, like, I should say, not only shooting, but like just her ability to score the board has been very impressive to me.
Yeah. What about Yakia?
That's another one. Oh God, I call her Killer Kai.
I think she's gonna
Uh,
surprise a lot of people.
yeah,
Because she didn't play at Auburn, but I think she was in the wrong system. That's just my opinion. But I think that she's gonna surprise some people.
Yeah, and I didn't have many like I wouldn't say high expectations. I would just say like I've watched film on her, and with her not playing a lot in the prior years, there wasn't a lot to
Right.
look at. But her potential is everything that Lindsay saw in her, and she's there now. Like she, just her length and just her timing, and just her ability to play back to the basket as well as face up has been impressive. And
So
defensively, on the defensive end, her ability to alter shots is also something that's been impressive.
I just want to throw in there that I have a superhero video coming out Thursday where I have 8 USC players and I compare them to superheroes. Make sure you
Okay.
check it out because Yaki is one of those that I gave a superhero to. So I
Oh,
compare them to
wait, can you
superheroes.
share which one yet or not yet? I have to wait till Thursday.
No, I'll tell you off
Oh,
camera. I'll tell you off camera. I don't want no
okay,
because
okay,
it doesn't come out till Thursday. So
okay.
hey, prompt. This program, we're in the fourth quarter now, by the way. This program has produced legends, developed future pros, and is now building its Big Ten identity.
What is USC women's basketball?
I thought, yeah, you're right.
It better be.
Yeah, it better be. Um, what excites you the most about this year's team heading into season?
What excites me the most is just winning and just getting back out there on the court. I've been in the WNBA for the past couple of years, and to be back in the collegiate game is really special to me. Getting back to teaching basketball and communicating with our players. Um, this program has such high standards. I'm looking forward to bringing whatever I can bring and contributing wherever I'm needed to this program, so we can continue on these winning ways. So I'm excited about the season. I'm excited about being in the Big Ten. Last time I was in college athletics was USC was a part of the Pac-12.
Yeah,
And so
yeah,
now that the Pac-12 is no longer, I'm looking forward to, traveling to these different, new places and new arenas and just seeing new things. But I'm also excited about seeing the development of this team and seeing, Lindsay's vision and how she's put together these pieces and, how offensively and defensively we are going to put it together, because we are missing a couple of key pieces. However, we do have a great core of players that I think are going to be able to do some great things.
yeah. I always talk about the puzzle that Lindsay always puts together. She's so intentional about putting the right puzzle pieces into the mix every year. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
sure.
So a lot of teams will go for the top players or whatever, but she's very intentional on picking the right person that has the right background culturally, who's going to fit into the system and do what she needs the player to do in their role. So, you
Yeah,
know,
how special is that to, be able to have an eye out for that? And
yeah,
so she's really, really great at seeing those things and not just bringing in great athletes and great basketball players. It truly does have to be a fit. I know a lot of coaches say that, but here at USC, it's like it really you have to have the personality. You have to, just be a great person, as well as be pretty skilled in basketball as well.
yeah. Okay, so final question of the quarter.
Okay,
If the team chemistry had a hashtag right now, what would it be?
the team chemistry.
Had a hashtag.
Uh, I would say, um, that's a good one. Let's see. Let's go with hashtag we them ones.
We them ones.
I
Okay.
like it, right?
Yeah, I like
We them
it.
ones. Hashtag we them
Yeah,
ones. This is
we
very
them ones,
unofficial.
right?
Yeah,
That's
this is
that's
just
hey, look, that's totally University of South Central too. That fits right in with the University of South Central. So yeah, we them ones. That's right. So we got to
we
get
them
that on
ones.
t-shirts. We got to get that on
There we go.
t-shirts. Hashtag we them ones. Okay, we done reached overtime. Ready? So now it's just we're gonna have some fun right now. We've been having fun the whole podcast though, but now it's real fun.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
you ready? Practice just ended. Vibes are high, and someone pulls a prank, a fake spider in your locker. Are you the one screaming, laughing, or plotting revenge?
I'm plotting revenge. I'm
Are
plotting revenge for sure. And I don't like spiders. Oh no. Yeah, I'm gonna get you.
like what kind of revenge plot would you do? Just totally off the cuff. Just something.
Yeah. Um, if it's, I mean, like spiders, like, okay, we got to talk snakes now. So,
Okay.
somebody, yeah, we're getting snakes, fake snakes or something. Something's gonna be in your locker next.
Okay. You walk into practice and the ox is playing something unexpected, EDM, Baby Shark, or a classic love song. Do you show your karaoke skills, drop your own playlist, or make that person DJ all week?
I'm showing my karaoke skills.
What?
Yeah, I can baby shark do all day. I can EDM it like I'm versatile. Whoever's on the ox, like it's on you. I'm gonna just rock out. I'm a team player. I'm gonna go with it.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Let's say the coaching staff is playing a pickup game 3-on-3. Who are your first two picks from the USC staff, and are you winning or talking trash?
Um, let's see, my picks. My first two picks.
Yeah, who are your first two
Okay.
picks?
All
Who?
right. I'm going with Jaco and Will for sure.
Okay. And are y'all winning or talking trash?
Both. All the above. Is there a C? Is there a C to it? Yeah, so all the above. Talking
All the
trash and
above.
winning. Yeah, it's
Okay.
all fun though. Yeah.
Okay. All right. You're sent on a last minute recruiting trip to watch a player you've never seen in person. You walk in, 5 minutes left in the game, scores tied. What are you looking for right away to know if they're a Trojan fit? Sorry.
Ooh, yeah. So one of my things, and this is kind of gonna be lumpy, but one of my things is like I'm really prepared, so I'll never be 5 minutes like late. I'll always be there early,
It's a
and
game. It's a game.
I
Okay.
always watch warm-ups because I
Okay.
have to see the technique, how they shoot, how they move, how they interact with their teammates, and all that type of stuff. But for the game, okay.
Yeah.
Let's see.
5 minutes left in the game, scores tied. What are you looking for right away to know if they're a Trojan fit?
I'm looking for them taking over the game, their leadership qualities, right? And also their interaction with their teammates and their coaches. Are they being a good teammate? Are they, respecting their coaches? And are they in that mode of like, I'm going to take over this game? And then lastly, I would say like, are they winning? Do they win this game? That's
Yeah.
important. Like, are you gonna make sure that your team wins this game?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Okay, I just have a couple more questions and then we can end this podcast because I know we're running overtime for real.
Okay.
But since you played back in 2006 in high school earlier than that, there's a couple terms that I want to know if you still say because I get caught up all the time, like block out or box out.
Oh, okay. I would say box out.
Did you ever hear the term block out though?
Yeah, of course, of
Okay,
course. Yeah,
but
I've heard block out.
I understand box out, but the block out is you block the player out. So I don't understand how it switched from block out to box out because you form a box is from what I understand, right? Around the player. I don't get it. I'm a block out person and people look at me
Block
like I'm
out.
crazy, but I'm like block out your person. Block them
Yeah.
out from getting
Well, so if so they're on the free throw line and your team, they're shooting a free throw. You say block out, block out. I would say box. Everybody
yeah.
box. Like
Okay.
box your player out. Yeah, I don't know. Either way, I think that, whatever, if your team understands it and y'all get the rebound, we're good.
Yeah, okay.
Box or block.
Okay. Transition or fast break.
Um, on offense, we're fast breaking. On defense, we're playing transition D.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, yeah.
In the post up or seal.
Post up.
Okay. When
Yeah.
do you use seal?
You seal when, say there's like a high-low pass, coming, you turn and you like, seal your player.
Okay.
So yeah, when you're posting up, you're just posting up on the block. Um, I think a seal's a little bit different. Maybe it's like off of another extra pass, seal your player
Yeah.
or something. Yeah. So,
Screen and roll or pick and roll?
ooh, I've used both, but I would probably say uh, when I'm explaining something, I would say you set a screen and then roll.
Okay.
But if I am in during the scouting report and showing a pick and roll, I always say pick and roll. I say like P&R or pick and roll.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hedge or jump out? Trap.
Head, hedge
Hedge?
for sure. Yeah.
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 All right.
A trap we call I mean, an NBA term is a blitz.
Okay.
Is what I would say. The NBA, WNBA term blitz. A hedge is always a hedge to me.
Okay. All right. Hey, that's all I got. This has
Okay.
been amazing. This has been fun. I hope you enjoyed it. Any last words about this year's team? The floor is yours.
Yeah, I guess my last words will be first to thank you for having me on your podcast. And this has been amazing. It's actually been fun. And I just want to give a quick shout out to everyone at USC. Thank you for welcoming me in with open arms and, just supporting our women's basketball team. I'm really looking forward to a great season. And lastly, let me shout out Bakersfield, California, because we talk about Bakersfield so much. It's home. I love you. Fourth and P all day. I love my family.
Bakers.
I love, everybody back in Bakersfield. I hope I make you proud. I'm going to continue to wear Bakersfield on my back, to the end of time. So Bakersfield, stand up.
Hey, shout out to Bakersfield. It's all fun. I go there, like I said, every 5 weeks. So, uh, Bakersfield's cool with me. And the last
Awesome.
thing I'm going to say is we them ones on a t-shirt. We them ones on a
Hashtag we done
t-shirt.
won.
Okay. All right. All right, y'all. Hey, thanks for, again, for coming on the podcast, and everybody fight on.